Hi there, and welcome to our second session. This is a pre-recorded FAQ session, specially prepared for those who've already watched our first presentation. This session is for those who still have a few second thoughts. We know planting a legacy isn't just a decision, it's a journey. So let's walk through your questions and help you move forward with clarity and confidence.
Where is the plantation located?
We have newly set up plantation located in Gumian, Infanta, Quezon. Due to increasing number of individuals interested to join the program, we're currently evaluating additional sites by land partner program applicants within Calabarzon region for expansion.
Can I visit my trees?
Yes, you can schedule a visit during working hours, and you can request updates.
How safe is my tree ownership under the program?
Your ownership is fully protected, contractually, legally, and operationally. Here's how we safeguard your legacy. Contractual clarity. Every tree is registered under your name, with clear clauses that define your rights and protect against unauthorized claims. Land partner restrictions. Land partners cannot sell, transfer, or claim ownership of any tree. This is explicitly stated in their contract. Right to injunctive relief. We reserve the right to legally stop any unauthorized actions before damage occurs. Transfer protocols. Ownership transfers are allowed, but only with proper documentation and approval, ensuring transparency and continuity. Next of kin protection. Your tree ownership can be passed on to your heirs, securing your legacy for generations. Operational oversight. We monitor all activities on the ground to ensure compliance and protect your investment. Whether you're a farmer, grower, planter, or land partner, our system is designed to protect every seed, every tree, and every legacy.
Can I sell the trees to others earlier before harvesting?
Under Farmer Program, yes, you own the land, you own the seedlings, and the future harvest. Under the Grower Program, yes, you may sell or transfer your tree ownership at any stage, as long as the transfer is properly documented and approved by all parties concerned. You own the seedlings and the future harvest, so you may sell your ownership anytime. The new owner must sign a transfer agreement and adhere to the original contract terms, including land use rental and harvest rights. If the grower contract includes land rental, the new owner must honor the remaining rental term or renew accordingly. Ownership is also transferable to next of kin in case of unforeseen circumstances. Under the Planter Program, yes, you may sell or transfer your tree ownership at any stage, as long as the transfer is properly documented and approved by all parties concerned. Ownership includes the seedling and its future yield, but not the land or management rights. The new owner must sign a transfer agreement and adhere to the original contract terms, including the 75% profit share structure. Retains of 25% of harvest value to cover labor, marketing, and management. This remains unchanged even after transfer. Ownership is also transferable to next of kin in case of unforeseen circumstances. And for Underland Partner Program, no, every tree are properly documented under its grower's or planter's name in accordance with DENR policy.
What happens if the landowner, planter, or grower passes away?
Our program is designed to protect tree ownership and continuity, even in the event of death. Here's how it works. If the planter or grower passes away, tree ownership is transferable to next of kin or legal heirs. We will assist in the succession process, ensuring smooth transition and documentation. DENR permits and tree records will be updated to reflect the new owner. If the landowner passes away, the existing land partner agreement remains binding until its expiration. The heirs or new land title holders are legally obligated to honor the contract. We will coordinate with the new landowners to ensure continuity and compliance.
What happens if my seedling dies?
1. Replacement guarantee. If the seedling dies within the first few months, due to natural causes, we offers free replacement as part of its grower support program. This is covered under the initial establishment phase, where survival rates are monitored. 2. DENR permit protection. Each seedling is registered with a DENR permit, which includes tracking and documentation. If a seedling dies, the record is updated, and a new permit may be issued for the replacement tree. This ensures legal continuity and ownership protection. Grower responsibility. Post-establishment. Under Farmer and Grower Program, after the establishment phase, ongoing care becomes the responsibility of the grower. If a tree dies due to neglect or external damage, replacement may be offered at cost or through a maintenance clause in your agreement. 4. Contractual clauses. Some contracts include a tree mortality clause that outlines replacement terms, cost sharing, timeline for replanting impact on harvest schedule, monitoring and support. We conduct regular monitoring and offers guidance to improve survival rates. Growers are encouraged to report issues early to qualify for support or replacement.
What is the harvest timeline?
Agarwood trees typically reach harvest maturity between 6 to 10 years, depending on the infection method, tree health, and resin development. We follow a structured monitoring system to determine optimal harvest timing for each tree. Agarwood trees typically reach full harvest maturity between 8 to 10 years, but we offer flexible options depending on your goals. Standard harvest timeline. Year 0 to 2. Establishment phase, no resin yet. Year 3 to 5. Inoculation and resin formation begins. Year 6 to 9 plus, resin deepens, optimal harvest window opens. Early harvest option. Farmers, growers, and planters may choose to harvest or sell as early as year 3, which is 1 year after inoculation, especially if resin formation is sufficient. We will assist in evaluating resin quality and market readiness. Early harvest may yield lower volume or grade, but can be strategic for cash flow or reinvestment. DENR documentation. All harvests, early or full, are documented and regulated under DENR permits. We ensure legal compliance and proper valuation.
How many harvest cycle can we make for every tree?
In traditional method that we use, each agarwood tree typically yields 1 harvest cycle, as the resin extraction process is terminal. Once harvested, the tree is no longer viable for future resin production. Harvest agarwood resin forms inside the heartwood after inoculation. Once the tree is harvested, the resinous wood is extracted and processed. The tree cannot regenerate resin after cutting, making it a single cycle crop. Why only 1 cycle? Inoculation triggers a defense response that produces resin. This process takes 3 to 5 years post-inoculation. Harvesting involves terminal cutting of the tree to access the resin-rich core. Unlike fruit trees, Aquilaria species do not regrow resin after harvest. What happens after? You may choose to replant new seedlings, expand ownership with new trees, transition to bulk ownership or land partnership. Strategic tip for planters. To maintain continuous income, many planters stagger tree ownership across multiple years. Example: own 10 trees every year, planted across 5 years. Harvest every year, starting year 5 onwards. We understand the interest in proprietary multi-harvest methods, like those experimented by others. Currently, we use the traditional full harvest model, which ensures maximum resin yield and export-grade quality. One-time premium payout. Meanwhile, we don't offer multi-cycle harvesting at this time. That would only result in low-yield resin and low-grade quality.
What is the minimum and maximum tree ownership?
Minimum tree ownership. You can start with just 10 trees. 1,500 multiplied by 10 trees. 15,000. A good start and ideal for OFWs. affordable for first-time and individual planter, or as legacy gifting. Comes with full DNR documentation and ownership rights. When it comes to maximum tree ownership, there is no fixed limit, but subject to land availability.
What's the possible profit?
Sample computation. Given at 10 trees. Let's conservatively assume harvest year is on year 5 with medium grade resin, with a yield of conservatively 1 kilogram of agar wood chips. Let us assume only 1 kilogram since year 5 is not yet the harvest maturity market price per kilogram of medium grade. 50,000 pesos to 500,000 pesos per kilogram, depending on grade and buyer's price. For your reference, you may check market price. The estimated profit for one tree at 1 kilogram is approximately 50,000 to 500,000 pesos. Multiplied to 10 trees, it is approximately 500,000 to 5 million pesos. So what if the resin is higher than 1 kilogram per tree? A 10-year-old tree can produce 4 to 5 kilograms resin. So it's up to you. When do you want it be harvested? Note: prices vary based on market demand, export quality, and resin depth. Less profit, 25% sharing for those under planter program, for harvesting expenses and exportation taxes and fees. That's what you get from your 15,000 pesos worth of initial tree ownership after 5 years. It's more than a trust fund and far better than time deposit. So if you plan to own 10 trees across 5 years, each year you have your income.
When do we pay the inoculant fees?
You pay the inoculant and harvesting fees only when your tree reaches the required stage. 25 centimeter diameter for inoculation, and maturity for harvest. We will notify you via email when your tree is ready. Inoculant fees. Farmer and Grower Program. When to pay? Only when your tree reaches 25 centimeters diameter, which typically happens around year 3 to 5 depending on growth conditions. Notification. You'll receive an email alert confirming readiness for inoculation. Optional timing. You can choose to delay inoculation or proceed immediately once notified, or you may buy your own inoculant from different supplier. Harvesting fee, Farmer and Grower Program. When to pay? Only when your tree reaches harvest maturity, usually year 8 to 10. Notification. We will notify you when your tree is ready, or you may choose to harvest earlier than ideal, with lower resin yield. Flexibility. Early harvest is allowed, but may affect profit margins. How you'll be notified. Regular email reports on tree health and growth. Special alerts when tree reaches 25 centimeters diameter, inoculation ready, tree reaches harvest maturity, you request early harvest.
What do we get as proof of ownerships?
Here's what you get. 1. Contract of ownership. Signed agreement. Details your rights, responsibilities, and profit-sharing terms. Includes clauses on inoculation, harvesting, and transferability. 2. Certificate of Ownership official document listing, tree count, species, planting date, location coordinates via geotagging. Each tree is digitally mapped and linked to your name. Serves as legal proof of ownership, especially for future harvest or resale. 3. As our plantations are registered with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources DENR, this ensures legal harvesting and transport exemption from forest charges, access to export permits and buyer networks. 4. Regular reports and notifications. You'll receive email updates on tree growth, inoculation readiness, 25 centimeter diameter, harvest maturity. These updates include photos, geotags, and timestamps for transparency.
How would we know when to get the profits?
Profits are transferred to your bank account approximately 4 to 5 months after harvest, once the wood is processed, shipped, and confirmed received by buyers abroad. Profit timeline. After harvesting. Here's how the process works. 1. Harvesting trees are cut and resinous wood is extracted. This happens only when the tree reaches maturity or when early harvest is requested. 2. Processing wood is cleaned, sorted, and processed into exportable forms. This stage can take several weeks to months, depending on volume. That is why we process it by batch. 3. Export and buyer confirmation. Processed agar wood is shipped to international buyers. Even if payment is received early, Philippine AHUD holds the funds until the buyer confirms receipt and quality of the shipment. 4. Profit transfer. Once confirmation is received, your share of the profit is calculated. Funds are transferred to your registered bank account. This entire cycle typically takes 4 to 5 months from harvest. Notifications. You'll receive harvest readiness alert. Processing updates. Export status. Profit release. Confirmation.
Can we join the program even if we were abroad?
Any individual can be part of this program. Overseas Filipino workers, OFWs. Seafarers can own trees and participate remotely. We support OFWs with digital onboarding, messenger-based FAQs, and contract signing via e-signature. Tree ownership is documented under their name and protected by DENR permit. Foreigners must provide valid identification and comply with Philippine investment and forestry regulations. Future buyers individuals who want to buy trees now for future harvest or resale are welcome. Ownership is transferable, and we provide succession and resale support. Contracts include clauses for inheritance, gifting, or resale, ensuring flexibility. Legal and permit notes. All participants, local or foreign, must be registered under DENR tree permits. We ensure legal documentation, monitoring, and harvest compliance. Ownership is protected even in cases of death, transfer, or resale.
If we send payment for the seedlings, when will it be planted?
All seedlings will be outplanted during the rainy season to ensure higher survival rates and healthier growth. Participants may join the program anytime, but actual planting is scheduled between June to October. Your seedling will be scheduled for planting based on first-in, first-out method. We follow a first-in, first-out method for outplanting. This means those who join the program earlier will be prioritized in the planting schedule starting June. Your contract and certificate of ownership will be issued after planting, reflecting exact coordinates, traceable and clearly stated, as part of legal compliance with DENR, as it is all legally sourced. Rest assured, upon acquisition, your seedlings will be cared for in our nursery until it's scheduled for field planting. While waiting for the outplanting season, your seedlings grows at the nursery. That means no time wasted. All plant purchases will be managed through our nursery. This ensures quality control, legal compliance, and proper care. Hope that all your queries have been addressed and your path feels a little clearer. If you decided to take the opportunity and start planting, we can send you the form. Thank you for joining us in this second FAQ session.